Emerson Mnangagwa regime faces another fresh constitutional challenge from a Zimbabwean, and the constitutional, in fact, it is him who is rated by this application, and it is coming from a Zimbabwe citizen named Vurande Mahlupego. That is the citizen, and it was stamped and dated 20 July 2026. It's a highly fresh constitutional challenge, challenging the recently signed Constitutional Amendment Act number 3 of 2026, which saw Emerson Mnangagwa's term illegally extended, and which saw actually quite a number of things changed. In fact, essentially the Constitution of 2013 changed by the regime. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So a Zimbabwean citizen has asked the Constitutional Court to strike down the country's newest constitutional amendment, arguing that Parliament and President Emerson Mnangagwa broke the law in passing it. Vurande Mahlupego, a member of the National Constitutional Assembly Party, that is a political party led by Professor Lovemore Maduku, filed the application on Monday against Parliament, the President, the Attorney General, and the Minister of Justice. He is asking the court to declare the Constitution of Zimbabwe Amendment number 3 Act 2026 null and void. The act, signed into law by President Mnangagwa on July 7, extends the term of the President, Parliament and local councils from 5 to 7 years, replaces direct presidential elections with a vote by Parliament, and expands the Senate, among other changes. It also cancels the 2028 elections. Mahlupego's application, drawn up by lawyer and university professor Dr. Lovemore Maduku, contends that Parliament amends several constitutional sections that were never published in the bill's original Gazette notice as required by law. It also argues that extending term limits in a way that benefits the sitting president and lawmakers is expressly barred by the Constitution, and that changing how the president is elected indirectly strips citizens of their right to vote for the head of state without saying so directly, which is also prohibited. The application further claims Mnangagwa should have stepped aside for an acting president to sign the bill, given that he personally benefited from the longer term, and that Parliament failed to give public notice before sending the bill for his signature. Mahlupego is asking the court to declare the entire act invalid rather than strike down individual clauses, arguing that a constitutional amendment must stand or fall as a whole. The case, filed under CCZ 277/26, has not yet been set down for hearing. Under court rules, the respondents have 21 days from being served to file opposing papers. The Constitutional Court is being asked to determine whether the amendment was enacted in accordance with Zimbabwe's Constitution. There are 4 other court cases challenging Constitution of Zimbabwe Amendment number 3 Act 2026 before the same court. So this means there would be now 5 constitutional court challenges aimed at Emerson Emerson Mnangagwa, and all they are speaking almost similar language, that Constitutional Amendment Act number 3 of 2026 is an illegal instrument that serves no other interest except the interest of Emerson Mnangagwa, as well as also the narrow interest of his family. And I must add and underscore that, and the interest of those surrounding Emerson Mnangagwa. I will keep on saying that the people who are giving problems to the people of Zimbabwe, they are not many of millions of just a million. You are just speaking with just less than 100 problematic people, people who are the cause of immigration, people who are the cause of the embarrassment of the people of Zimbabwe. Now let's look at the case that has been filed by this Zimbabwean citizen. I don't want to actually mispronounce his name. His name is Vurande Mahlupego. Now, what he is saying is that Emerson Tambutso, the parliament in the first place, the people who are actually tackled by this application, it is the Parliament of Zimbabwe being the first respondent, and the second respondent, it is the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe. The third respondent, it is the Attorney General of Zimbabwe, and the fourth respondent, definitely, it is none other than the ministry that is currently headed by unelectable, that is the current Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs. And this case specifically, this man is of the opinion that, number one, that legal instrument in its entirety does not stand in a normal court of law. And he says the mere fact that Emerson Mnangagwa signed that legal instrument as also the direct beneficiary of that legal instrument, there is issues of conflict of interest there. I think everyone can visibly see issues of conflict of interest by mere fact that it extends his term of office without going to the people that voted for him. And also he is saying this legal instrument also affected the Bill of Rights indirectly, because Zimbabweans had the right to vote for their president. The Zimbabweans had the right to vote. That right has been stripped away because changing the constitution to only give powers to the parliament, to the parliamentarians, people who were given a different mandate compared to the president, that on its own becomes a serious problem, because these parliamentarians, when we voted for them, we did not vote for them to exercise the mandate they are exercising at the moment. We did, in fact, the constitution bars them from coming up with a new constitution, and there are many changes to the constitution which were made and compressed in one bill. Under normal circumstances, these changes were supposed to be done through separate bills. And Emerson Mnangagwa deciding to, if you want to change the entire constitution, like what was done in 2013, you have to go through to the people. The parliamentarians don't have a right to do so. The members of parliament, they are not constitutionally empowered to exercise that power. And as such, they did not have the power to take away the right for the people of Zimbabwe to vote for their president. So this case is simply saying that bill affected indirectly the Bill of Rights. I think this application also contends with the issues that have been raised by the MDC leader, that indirectly the right to vote has been affected because you are now limiting the overwhelming rights that was enjoyed by the people of Zimbabwe. They were responsible for voting for the members of the executive. That right has been taken away and limited only to voting for parliamentarians, and taking the right for the people of Zimbabwe to vote for the members of the executive, giving that right to only parliamentarians, and those parliamentarians not also deriving power from the people to exercise that right. If maybe the constitution was changed by the people and then new parliamentarians are elected, then we will understand. But there is a lot of actually red lines that have been crossed by Emmerson Mnangagwa. And I can attest to you that I think this time around also Professor Love Matu came in another way. I think I mustn't say there are just 5 cases now at the Constitutional Court. Remember, all constituencies also took the members of parliament to the Constitutional Court. We've never had the Constitutional Court dealing with those cases. In fact, the members of parliament went ahead and actually voted for the bill, if you remember. So there are numerous, hundreds of court cases currently at the Constitutional Court of Zimbabwe. And I think the Constitutional Court of Zimbabwe would be really busy. Now, if you look at this citizen, and also he's a member of the NCA. This is a political party led by Professor Love Matuku, also taking Emmerson Mnangagwa head on. We've got an application from the MDC, also taking Emmerson Mnangagwa head on. We've got an application also, I'm sure, from the war veterans that would be, and there are many other applications. I can tell you on days to come. There is no bill which has been overwhelmingly challenged, even after being passed, like the Constitutional Amendment Bill number, it's now an act, by the way, of number 3 of 2026. The people of Zimbabwe are putting pressure on this government through launching court application, not only court application, and also through the streets of Zimbabwe. The streets are also calling, the judiciary is also flooded. Let's keep all these institutions busy. And I can tell you from the 31st of July, these people are hungry. If you overstretch them just for 2 to 3 days, they will get tired. They will feel overwhelmed. And Emmerson Mnangagwa would be left with no choice but to vacate political office. I still repeat that the people of Zimbabwe have the power. It's just a matter of them realizing that by the 31st of July, let's make sure that we occupy the streets of Zimbabwe and protest. It can work. We don't know at this moment what exactly can work. It can work especially if we are united as a people. If everyone would say, I am also joining the nation on this one, because if we have a constitution that push individual interest, then the whole country is gone. Definitely everything is going to go down. We've seen Zimbabwe going down under Emmerson Mnangagwa. Don't expect that it will go up. It will continue to go down. It will continue to be degraded economically in all aspects. There is nothing right with the regime of Emmerson Mnangagwa, and there is everything wrong with this regime. That is why Zimbabweans, in their overwhelming majority, yes, flooding the courts with also challenges, as well as also the taking it to the streets, occupying the streets. All these at the moment, apologies, are actually available options that should be used and maximized. They can actually produce magic altogether. And at the moment, people should stand up. There is no way we can sit and entertain this. Otherwise, if we do so, Emmerson Mnangagwa will continue to take Zimbabwe down. Zimbabwe at some point has to be rescued. This country needs rescue more than any other moment. We see the panicking Zwikananda. It's normal. We see the threats that they are giving. It's normal. It shows that they understand that this is the real deal that people intend to do on the 31st of July 2026. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us. Okancubu Mhlabane is signing out. Let me love and leave you.